Criminal law is an area of law, whereas civil law or private law, as we sometimes say, is a branch of law which has different areas of law sitting underneath it. Now, civil law or private law has these different areas of law underneath it which deal specifically with different types of issues that they resolve. However, despite this difference in the types of issues that these areas of law resolve, there is some similarity between all these different areas of law which sit under civil law. And the similarities are specifically related to the names that we give to parties who start cases in civil law, the outcomes of civil law cases, and the consequences that parties face if they are found liable for breaches of particular areas of civil law. So because these aspects of civil law differ to those of criminal law, there is always a distinction drawn between the two. Two areas of law that sit under the civil law branch are contract law and tort law. Now let's have a look at some contract law and tort law scenarios. And this will give us an idea of how different these two areas of law are, but still how similar they are, and why it is that they are classed as civil law and they are distinguished from criminal law. In our first contract law scenario, we meet the Smiths. Now, the Smiths had paid for an all-inclusive holiday in Jamaica. That meant that they were going to have an experience which not only included sleeping at the hotel, but it included having unlimited access to drinks and breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day while they were at the hotel. But when they got to the hotel, they were told that though they could have drinks, they would have to pay for it. And the hotel manager told them that no food would be served at the hotel. This, they said, was because of managerial changes. The Smiths, therefore, needed to use money which they had not planned to use while in Jamaica to feed themselves for the 3 weeks that they spent in Jamaica. Scenario B. In scenario B, we meet Jane. Jane bought herself a lovely little flat in London. And what Jane really wanted was the most beautiful bathroom. So she hired Keith's bathrooms. And Keith's bathrooms started the work. And they did a pretty good job. A pretty incomplete job. They put in the toilet, thankfully, and they put in the bath. But for some reason, they didn't put the sink in. And Jane was left without a sink. And Jane kept calling Keith's bathrooms and calling Keith's bathrooms, but no one ever picked up the phone. Scenario C. In scenario C, we meet Jack. Jack went out and bought himself a lovely car. And when he bought the car, he was told, "Oh, it's a good one, Jack. You won't need to change this car for at least 5 years." Jack went out one night with his girlfriend, feeling rather great about his life and his new vehicle. And after driving around for 30 minutes, his car suddenly stopped. And when he called someone to come and have a look at his car, he was told that his car was useless. He was told that his car would not move until a new engine had been purchased. This was 2 weeks after he purchased this vehicle that he was told would last him for at least 5 years. In all those scenarios, we have different parties with very different problems, but there are similarities between the three. And the first similarity to note is that in each scenario, the people seem to have entered into agreements with other parties. And it seems as though the agreements that they entered into were not fulfilled. They therefore seem to have either unperformed services that they were promised under the agreements entered into, and or monetary setbacks. Now, if those people in those scenarios wish to start a case in English law, those cases would normally fit under contract law. If they wish to get the services performed properly, or they wish to get back the money lost as a result of the unfulfilled agreements.